standing on a rock. I'm standing on a rock.
He says then in verse 5, I am the vine, you are the branches. Oh, you're the branches. You're the branches. We're the branches. He's the vine. That tells me something interesting. How many of you have ever grown a little potted plant, or you've got a garden, or you've seen it, you know in the trees, something about the trees? Wow. We call the food that runs up a tree the sap. It runs up, and when a tree is cut down, we know we can tell the age by the number of rings going across. But when it's cut long into planks, and you see it on wood like this, you see the grain going that way, and white patches in the grain on the woodwork, especially with oak and pine. You see these big sort of light-colored swirls going over. They are called rays, and they are the food traveling through the tree. You have the bark, and you have the sapwood where the food goes up, and then you have, always on the outer side mainly, and then in the middle you have the heartwood, which is a different color. So you cut through a tree, and there's like a darker brown place inside, which is supported by the living tree on the outside. Okay, have little cells called tracheids in them, contain food. You know, when you've got an old violin or guitar, some of you might play guitar or have something like made of wood like that, an instrument. You know, over the years, the wood gets drier and drier and drier, and the more moist content of maybe the tracheids becomes a fine dust. Yeah. When you take strings off your guitar, give it a dust inside, you find there might be a couple of spiders in there, but you dust, there's like sometimes white powder over the years. That is the internal of these little cells. It's dropping out, it's empty. And the sound is improving on the guitar all the time, or the instrument, because the sounding board, the face of the guitar, and everywhere in there is actually more respondent to the vibrations of the strings inside and the sound that's produced. And that's what happens in the trees. But you know what? The same sap that flows through the trunk on those trees flows through the branches to the leaves and the flowers maybe on the trees that bring the fruit. The same sap that is in the true vine, which is the blood of Christ, the spiritual blood of Christ. For his human blood was shed on this earth for us. That same spiritual blood that flows through the vine, flows through the branches, through you. And it's spiritual, so it's only when you get the revelation of this will you feel and know the power that is pumping through you now. That is why you don't have to be sick. You don't. You really don't. The same DNA is flowing through you. You have become his disciple. You have become sons of God, led by the Spirit of God. The whole of creation groans, waiting for the sons of God to manifest. Time is close. Look at this. I am the vine, you are the branches. He that abides in me and I in him, the same brings forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing. Believe him. Believe the living word of God, which was written in eternity forever, for what is taking place today, tomorrow, and until Jesus comes, which is looking good.